Welcome back to the Whiskey and Wisdom podcast. I'm one of your constant co-hosts, Chris Kellum, and I'm today here with
Tyler, y'all.
And our special guest is
Steven Seguin. What's up, guys?
How's it going? Thanks for coming on today.
Appreciate you guys having me. Thank you.
Of course. I love this shirt, by the way.
Thanks, man. My daughter, I let her pick out all my shirts for my events and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And so I have a whole eclectic collection. And she
like
wanted
it.
the Duckies today, so
Yeah.
she got the Duckies.
Fair
Go
enough.
with it. Before we get too crazy into knowing about yourself and everything, a little sneak peek is the fact that you make amazing drinks.
Thank you.
Can you tell people what we're sipping on today?
This is my version of a smoked old-fashioned.
Okay.
And the trick and key to do it, because everybody screws it up. We were talking about this before, and every bartender says stuff like that. But you don't smoke the glass. The glass isn't going to hold any flavors. You smoke the ice. If you smoke the ice, condensation, it's all science. Science and chemistry.
I guess the ice is going to be more porous than what the glass would be as well, so it can absorb that better too. Yeah, hopefully.
I would say maybe a month ago, I did a 50-year-old's birthday party, and he was like straight-laced military dude. Everything was very uniform. There wasn't a crumb anywhere. So dude's standards were set pretty high. And then I told him exactly what I do and how I prepare things. He said, I'm probably going to hire you again because nowhere in town can make a smoked old-fashioned as good as this.
Oh, wow. That's
So,
fantastic.
It was a great compliment to get.
Yeah.
Love to hear it. You're talking, that's the perfect transition to what do you do?
I'm a mobile bartender. I go by the Drink Daddy, LLC right there.
Which is awesome. That's like the perfect name.
It's a great name. I like it a lot. A lot of other people have fun with it. And I call myself the Drink Daddy because I have 2 girls, 2 kids.
That makes sense.
So
Not the other version
yeah,
of daddy.
some people they're like, oh, the Drink Daddy. Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say.
And sometimes the Drink Daddy comes out.
Okay.
It just depends on the event. I did a bachelorette party and there was 15, 20 girls there. And I just like to help out everywhere I can. I don't like to just stay behind the bar. So if
Right.
they need a hand, all I did was record them. I took some videos of them, pictures. Every single one of them in unison goes, thanks, Daddy. And I had no idea how good that was actually going to feel. And then I was like, wow, my ego was just explode. I could barely fit through the doorway.
Oh,
It was
gosh,
great.
I love it.
I was thinking like another niche of like 50-year-old women.
Oh, I would love it. I would have the time of my life.
That would be awesome.
No, our wives both have read some of those fantasy books lately.
Some smut.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it makes me laugh because, like, I was listening to a podcast this morning, and they were like, "Oh, it's Zaddy or Daddy." I'm like, y'all should have spent more time with your parental figures. Like, gosh, I will say my wife does not use that terminology, but those people in those circles just make me laugh.
Yeah.
So I did have a question for you.
What's up?
In order to have your own mobile bartending thing, you had to have started in the industry somehow. So what got you into the bartending industry and what made you want to go out on your own to do something like this?
Excuse me. So back when I was 21, 22, I started bartending at this, the Hilton, this hotel. And it was fun. I did that for maybe a year and a half, stopped doing that. And then I went to a brewery here in town. I worked at Waterline for 3 or 4 years. I was always the house bartender whenever big parties would go on. And it's something I've always really enjoyed because you can talk to anybody across from you. Everybody has a story. Everybody has something funny to say. I like to talk shit a lot. So I'll rip on people immediately after they get a drink from me. And then we're just back and forth with it. But I started the mobile bar all because of my wife. I can't stand my day job, and I won't say where I do that one. Can't stand the day job, but my wife, we were brainstorming with ideas, and then she presents this to me. She's like, I think I found something perfect for you. And she put it all in front of me, and I just ran with it.
Yeah.
So I built my own bar. I have a full 6 foot by 2 foot collapsible bar.
Oh.
Everything is handmade out of wood.
Oh, wow.
and it looks like it belongs everywhere that it's at. It looks like it was built with the house or with a venue, and
That's very sweet.
It turned out really nice.
Can you make another one?
Absolutely. Yeah, I do. I offer custom services if people want something like that at their house.
Oh, nice.
When like bar tops, I offer a service where I can create a bar top for somebody's wedding, and then I can put inside like their memorabilia.
Oh, wow.
And I can craft memorabilia inside the bar top and then let them take that piece home as part of their wedding celebration.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah.
That is pretty sick.
Yeah.
Because we've also mentioned this previously. I don't know, when it comes to being a mobile bartender, what do you bring to the event? Like, do you bring the alcohol? Do they bring the alcohol? How does that work?
It depends. It's state by state.
Okay.
So North Carolina is known as what's called dry hire. Mm-hmm. So my clients, they have to buy all the alcohol. So beer, wine, spirits.
Okay.
But we come up with a shopping plan together, and I make sure they don't overbuy or underbuy.
Mm-hmm.
And then I supply everything else under the sun and moon.
Nice.
And then they don't have to worry about the bar. It's all handled.
Okay.
So
That's what I was curious about.
Yeah, everything down to cups, straws, napkins. I bring the ice for all the drinks, coolers, garnishes. If people want glassware, I can do glassware. It all just depends on the needs, but I'll supply absolutely everything.
Nice.
Awesome. Kind of set it and forget it type of thing.
Yep.
Hand over the money to you and
That's it.
off to the races.
Make sure the alcohol is there, and we're going to have a good time.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Good.
So what are your favorite types of events to do?
Honestly, weddings are fun.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's always in a good mood. But if I get hired for a backyard birthday or a cookout,
Oh, yeah.
that is a blast. Because
That's pretty cool.
there's just good vibes all around. I've done like little clubhouses
Mm-hmm.
where some neighborhoods have their clubhouse.
Right.
I did a clubhouse a little while ago, and those people had the time of their life. They had live music there. Everyone was dancing, drinking, having a
That's
blast.
Nice. That reminds. Do you have the liquor license, or how does that work?
It's by venue, right?
Yeah, by venue.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so I carry insurance though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some mobile bartenders don't.
That seems like a bad idea.
It's not a good one.
Yeah.
There's so much liability that
Yeah.
happens.
Exactly.
Okay.
All you need is one person to do something stupid, and they'll be like, well, the drink daddy gave me 2
Right.
drinks.
So yeah, because I can't bring liquor,
Mm-hmm.
that's what makes it difficult, because I can't control what people do after I leave an event, but I'm still liable because I still served them.
Got you.
I see. Yeah.
So yeah, I'd rather just carry the insurance.
Yeah. Safe than
And
sorry.
not need it.
Right.
It always I've always known people to throw a party and they'll have a bartender, and they're always like the same 4 that come from like a country club or come from some place that's just like show up very professional.
Yep.
And I'm like, that seems like a cool idea, but I've never thought to do it myself, because if we're throwing a party, I'm always the bartender. And I realize that makes way more sense. Just get someone to come in who knows how to make drinks legitimately, and then you can enjoy the party instead of trying to make drinks for everybody.
That's exactly how it works.
Now we know who to hire next time Reed's has an event.
See.
Yeah. So I should stay on topic, sorry. So I have hats that I made, and it says the Drink Daddy. I have a whole like custom logo and stuff. So it says the Drink Daddy on the front, and then on the back it says thirsty, Daddy's gotcha. So that's kind of like my little catchphrase.
I like it.
So do you have different colors of this hat? Or is it
I
always-
get them custom made by a guy in town.
Oh,
And
nice.
I've made probably a dozen because people love the name so much.
yeah.
And they're great to support. Friends are crazy supportive, so it's pretty cool.
You have it trademarked?
I'm working on that.
Okay, good, yeah.
I'm going to talk to, I can't remember his name, but he's a friend of
Yeah.
yours that does trademarking. So I'm trademarking first before I actually bulk up in merch.
That makes
Sweet.
sense.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
smart.
It's very interesting, in general, Wilmington is a town where, they actually support their friends,
Right.
because everyone will come in and be like, oh, because I have, a Starling t-shirt I wear all the time, and people look at me like, oh, do you work there? No, I literally just bought the t-shirt because I like to support people.
No, but I drink there.
Yeah,
Come on out.
I'm like,
Exactly.
and now I can buy a hat from you and support.
Yeah,
I
man.
I couldn't wear a hat for like 3 years, but I can now. So
Why?
Too
I
much
grew my
hair.
hair out,
Oh, okay.
and it was legit. It was a hot mess. Like I didn't know the proper techniques to take care of it, but it was like a good 3 inches off the top of my head.
Yeah.
And went in different directions. So like a hat just didn't work.
There's this comedian, Cam Patterson. Have you heard
I
of him?
love Cam Patterson.
So
Did you see him?
Yeah, I saw him when he was in town
Yeah.
at Dead Crow. He's hysterical. He's a lot smaller than I thought he was going to be. That's always the case with comedians. Like we were all
Right.
standing up excited for him, and then he goes up to like my chest.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, tiny dude.
That's what people say about Tyler.
It's true. They're like, we knew you were short, but.
But Cam will put a hat on, and he's got some thick stacked
Right.
up hair, and he'll just like dangle it and hang it off. And everybody, he's like defying gravity.
Yes.
Like, what are you doing?
How was this stuck here?
Yeah.
Not falling off. Yeah, no.
The one episode of Kill Tony, Tony was like, how does your hat keep going farther and farther back on your head and it still not fall?
You know, maybe he has like a pick or something in his hair to like
That's
keep it
possible.
from like completely falling off.
Bobby pins,
Right.
shoving them up there.
So your favorite event we talked about doing
Yeah.
like backyard parties. What are your two favorite drinks to make?
So I hate tequila, but man, I don't know. Where do we start with that one?
Let's go. We can go back. Let's go.
Tequila just doesn't do it for me.
Okay.
I've had really fine tequila before, and that's where I'm like, I understand why people like this,
Mhm.
but then you just get some mid stuff on the shelf, and yeah, no, it just doesn't do it for me. But people love it. So people's favorite drink that I do is probably my Paloma.
Okay.
Mm.
People rave about it. They come back for it all the time.
You should do a smoked Paloma.
I wonder how that would be. Maybe use a smoked tequila.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I had one somewhere.
We did.
I feel like it was with you. But yeah, it was pretty darn good.
Really?
Yeah. It's very much like a old fashioned esque
Yep.
the way that it kind of all comes together. It's pretty good though.
I like rum
Mhm.
a lot. My choices would be whiskey and rum.
Okay.
But when I do things with rum, you can kind of beach it up a little bit,
Yeah.
Oh,
which is nice. And I make some really good stuff with I use coconut cream and milk, shaken up with a little bit of bitters, orange juice, pineapple juice, stuff like that. Comes out smooth, creamy, and delicious. But one that I started enjoying more of are just mojitos.
oh yeah.
So I do variations of mojitos because I make all my own syrups for flavors and stuff.
Yeah,
so I'll
sweet.
infuse mint with raspberry and sugar and have like a raspberry mojito.
Ooh, that sounds good.
And it makes it cleaner. So
Mhm.
you're not going to be sucking up leaves.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You get all the flavors and stuff. But they're really good.
I haven't had a mojito in forever.
It's like the perfect like summer
Yep.
day
Yeah.
out on a back porch or like on a deck.
Yeah. That's what people are going for as we're coming up to our summer
Mm-hmm.
is tequila, like pretty much just white liquors.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sorry, I had to.
I know. I set it up.
No.
Had to do it.
I'm intrigued because most people don't know about Palomas. They're always like, when you hear about tequila, you're thinking of a margarita.
Yeah.
And I think it's the onset of all the Mexican restaurants.
Yep.
No.
And
yeah.
margaritas are just easy to make. But I agree. I think Palomas are the move.
Yeah, it's the way to go.
It's like a true like alcohol cocktail too.
Yeah.
Like a margarita is just like what kind of sugar can I throw into my tequila
Yeah.
Yeah.
and just call it a day, which is also why most people have a lot of hangover stories with their tequilas as
know.
well.
They don't realize that it all comes from the sugar.
Mhm.
Oh, I have learned.
A couple stories behind that, right?
Yes. Well, and I don't even drink like anything specific. We'll just like mix things up, which is one of the pluses of being on the podcast. We tried so many whiskeys that my palate's been open so I can try like other
Yep.
liquors, other spirits.
Mhm.
And there I
like
learned
I
the
like how
hard
you
way.
phrased it like that. My palate's been opened.
Yes.
It's like someone opened up your third eye, but for your liquor
Right.
tasting.
Yeah. Well, because usually you go to the bar and you get the same thing over and over again.
Right.
And if you don't know what you want, you get vodka and something because it's just so like no flavor.
Quick.
Yeah.
There's a big
so-
hustle and bustle
yes.
with the bar, and you don't want to piss off the bartender.
Exactly. What's the quickest thing I
Yeah.
can have you make for
Yes.
me?
And so now I'm at the point where I'm like, okay, I know not to go to the bar and be like, yo, can I get a like a Long Island iced tea? Or can you make me like
Gosh, what are you, 20?
I was gonna say,
You're ordering something like that?
correct?
get your ID
Damn.
checked real quick.
I will say I had I've only had 3 in my life. I had one at the Starling for my birthday like 2 years ago. One, it was the most expensive Long Island iced tea because like nothing there is like, you don't have $3.
Probably like top shelf Long
Yeah,
Island iced
it's all
tea.
like mid to
Like a
top
$30
shelf.
drink.
Which still tastes like garbage.
It was actually good.
Was it?
Well, I applaud like when you get a good bartender who knows like, hey, I'm not going to give you this whiskey or this rum because the flavors don't mix well.
Yeah.
But when they mix it together, the stuff worked. But yeah, I'm not ordering another Long Island iced tea anytime soon.
There's the popular drink when I was younger out west was a AMF, which was a adios motherfucker. And similar thing to a Rhode Island. They just dump like
Everything.
3-4 ounces of liquor in a cup and then splash some juice on top.
Yes. Oh, I remember.
Here's everything in the well. Have at it.
Yeah. Yeah, man, that's
We used to, like, I was in the National Guard for a few years, and every weekend we'd go up for training. We'd go out to eat at this Mexican joint that, like, we knew the family, and somehow dinner would progress, and then the bar would close, or, like, the restaurant would close, and it would turn into a bar.
Oh.
And so we all turned into drinking adios motherfuckers. And I'm just like,
not again.
can we not do this tonight?
Every week it's the same thing.
Yes. I'm like, okay, can I just drink a beer?
Just once.
Just
Right.
once? No.
Yeah.
I want to go back to the drink that you made a little bit because I was trying to think the last time that I had a smoked old fashioned. I was like, how did they make it? So what they did is they fully made the old fashioned and then smoked it.
Even
seems-
that's not.
I was like, that seems
what you
kind of
should do.
weird, right?
Yeah, because then you just get a flat layer
Exactly.
that
yeah.
the smoke will sit on, and nothing will get absorbed into it. So
That
as
was-
you were saying, ice is porous,
Right.
so it'll go into those nice little crevasses.
Yeah.
And
Because I was thinking that too.
Thanks,
Because like I've been drinking on this for a little bit now.
Yep.
And I'm like, I get the same taste every single time. Unlike that other one I was telling you about. Like
goes away.
Yeah, you have that smoky taste the first 2 sips, and then you're like, okay,
and then you're
old-fashioned.
drinking whiskey.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very-
But yeah, that's the only way to do it.
Nice. You don't do cherries? You don't muddle anything?
Not with mine. If people request cherry garnishes, then I do use some like fine top shelf cherries with it. But most people that I've done them for, they're just like,
just take them
toss
off
it to
anyway.
the side.
Yeah.
I'm like, do you know what those cherries cost?
I'm going to
Come
eat
on.
those cherries.
Right.
That's
The-
all I want.
I think there was one time at rounds I didn't eat the cherry, and Dennis was like, "Why'd I put this on top for you then?" And I was like, "I'll eat it then. I'm sorry. I
didn't mean to
apologize."
offend
I
you.
know.
I know you work so hard on the garnishes and you make
Right.
it look nice. Then people
Like,
just grab everything, toss them. Like, cool.
Thank
Guess I'll go fuck myself, guys.
Right.
Thanks.
Oh my
appreciate it.
God. Are you for garnishes? Oh, in the garnish realm, are you for like minimal or like over the top?
I like the middle ground of it.
Okay.
So I don't like putting 3 or 4 different garnishes on a drink. I have a view that less is more,
Mm-hmm.
and you'll still get a good photo op if that's what you're looking for. I dehydrate all my fresh cut limes and stuff, depending
Okay.
on the kind of drinks that they want. So I'll have dehydrated limes, lemons, oranges, but then I'll also have fresh cuts of it in case somebody wants to squeeze it or it's a separate drink where they want
Yeah.
a different flavor.
No, in my head, because it's Sunday and we're recording, my brain was thinking of like the Bloody Marys and how it has transitioned from like, hey, we have just like a pickle or an olive on top
Yep.
to
A whole
Now
salad.
A whole salad. Yeah.
well, whatchamacallit? There was a shop that opened up and their Bloody Marys would have like food on top. Like I went once and got the like a mini Philly cheesesteak sitting on top of my Bloody Mary.
Cooked shrimp just flopped out.
Yeah. I'm like,
Crab claws just
I
sticking
like
to
the
yeah.
bacon. Like if you just do a strip of bacon in there.
Yeah.
But when it's like bacon and olives and pickles and it's like, come on.
It's too much.
No one eats the celery.
I saw the weirdest one I saw is they actually used tomatoes as a garnish with it too. I'm like, I see what you're doing here, but
It makes sense, but it doesn't.
right.
No.
So it doesn't actually go with what you're doing here.
Yeah.
I mean, drinking tomato juice is just nasty anyway.
I'm not a Bloody Mary fan myself.
I'm just going to drink a mimosa if I need one.
Yep. That's what brunches are for, man.
Right.
Half bottle
Just a
per glass.
Yep.
That's how you make a proper mimosa, is a half bottle per glass. Or you do a 70-30 ratio.
Wait, how big of glasses are you using for mimosas?
Well, if you're doing half bottles, then you got to get a good 20-ounce glass.
Okay.
Right.
I'm just making sure people understand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, like I get like the minis.
We use gallon glasses here.
Like I get the halves, like the mini splits. And I'm like, those work perfect because I'm not trying to drink too much. But like you said, if we're doing brunch, just
Bottomless.
yeah.
That's the only way to go. I don't think anywhere in Wilmington has bottomless options.
Don't think we're allowed
I
to.
don't think it's legal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, I
just-
miss those days.
I know, man.
But back then you couldn't drink on Sundays before like noon. So
Yeah, at least they moved it up an hour.
no, it's 10.
It's 10
Oh,
now.
it's 10 now?
Yeah, you can
Yeah,
actually
okay.
buy wine and stuff at 10.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
It is 10.
Yep.
That's right. Yeah.
That's
Moved up
right.
2 hours.
Yeah.
Look at us go.
Tells you how old we are
Yeah.
and how young he is. He doesn't know these things.
I,
So
I didn't live here.
Yeah, these newbies, man. These damn northerners, as people say.
Yeah. I've been down here
wait,
15 years now. So
Where are you from?
Utah.
Okay.
Yeah, I grew up in one of 2 ghetto cities that Utah had to offer,
Okay.
which was pretty cool.
I didn't know there was any.
Yeah, dude, there's actually some intense gang activity that goes on, and I grew up in a Crip neighborhood.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Represent. Just kidding. I didn't do any of that stuff.
Well, it was funny because like we were talking about the High West, and I'm like, it's interesting that you left Utah, which isn't it very Mormon out there? Is that
Oh, yeah.
Florida? I try and not mix things up, but you left there and came this direction and became a bartender, and they don't drink out there really, do they?
It depends on where you go.
Okay.
How they drink, they just have to drink a lot. So up until recently, they had laws out there.
Blackout or nothing.
Right. But the alcohol that they would offer you at bars, if you're trying to get a beer from tap, they would only allow you to serve 3.2% alcohol content when it comes to beers.
Okay.
They just pushed a law maybe a year or so ago that
No
now they can
IPAs.
serve 5%. And strong beer
Yeah.
is what they call it. You have to buy at a liquor store. And then at the liquor store, they don't have the beer in coolers because they want to discourage drinking and driving on the way home, is the logic behind it.
Isn't it illegal anyways?
Right. But they're like, well, if it's already cold, they might be tempted. It's
I'm like, this isn't the 70s.
As opposed to going to the liquor store to buy liquor and then just drinking that out of the bottle.
right. Well, they're not
We
going to
don't-
drink it unless it's cold.
It's okay.
Like that's
We don't want them drinking the beer because it's going to be cold, but the liquor, we're cool with them taking that straight out of the bottle.
also like if you go to a restaurant and you wanted a cocktail,
Yeah.
you would have to sit on a certain side of the restaurant in order to be served alcohol.
Oh.
The drinking side and the non-drinking side, like smoking and non-smoking side back in the day.
And then when they're making drinks, they have to do it behind a wall, so then nobody can see what they're making.
It's kid friendly.
Yep.
I
And
feel like
so
that's even more dangerous.
that's what I'm saying. You don't know what they're doing. You don't know what they're putting in there, what they're stirring it with. First of all, let's talk about that.
Right.
Just kidding.
I blame it on
Could be using crazy spoons that we just got out of the random kitchen.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was from the dirty dishwasher. It's okay though.
Gives it character.
I sent Tyler this thing the other day, and it was like these 2 ladies caught COVID because they were sharing a cup that hadn't been sanitized properly. And
I see where this is going
Yes.
already.
And I was like, oh my gosh, if only kids actually understood.
Yeah. And for those 2 girls, you think they learned their lesson the first time around, like
2 girls should never share one cup.
ever.
Don't Google it. Gen Zers out there listening to this.
It's one of those legendary,
Or maybe, but-
it's one of those legendary videos that like the mythology behind it. Everybody knows about it.
Right.
Everybody's too scared to look at it.
Yeah.
No. I was
Chris
that
like,
guy
wait.
who didn't watch it.
Ah, okay.
I've never seen it either.
I haven't either.
Yeah.
I convinced my roommate in college because that's when it came out, and I was like, "Bro, I heard about this video. You got to check this out." And I had him like look it up because he had a laptop. I didn't, and he looked it up, and I was like, "I can't believe you watched that."
What an idiot. You don't trust me. Come on.
To your point, though, it is kind of like a mythology, though.
Right.
Everyone knows about it, but I don't think I've known anyone who's actually watched it.
It's taboo, man.
Right.
No, it's like when people Google certain things, they're like, you don't Google that.
No.
Right.
Your computer's going to get AIDS now. Stop it.
Oh, wow.
I downloaded a lot of shit off of LimeWire, but that was not one thing I was going to go down.
No. So, your bar that you've made.
Yep.
Because I'm always curious about this. When you made your bar, do you have like space underneath for your stuff? Is everything on top? Like, how does that setup look?
When you see it, it looks exactly like a bar.
Okay.
So I have storage underneath. I have a midsection that I have, and I have a cut station, my garnish stuff, and I have mixers set up on the left side of it. And then on the right side, I have cups, and then I cut out a hole, and then that's where my ice goes.
Oh, okay.
So I have my cooler there, put the ice in. I have a drain bucket underneath to catch anything so the ice stays good. And I customized my bar. So my midsection, nobody can really see it when they're ordering drinks, but I put in comics. So I have comic books all over it, and then I epoxied over the top of it.
That's cool.
Just to give it a little something for me.
Yeah.
Right.
So what comics are in there?
There's some He-Man in there, a couple X-Men, 1 page of Spider-Man made it, and then I can't remember the name of this comic book, but my friend loves them, and he's like, I want to give you this. And so I was like, pick your 2 favorite pages. And then it was a warrior-based comic book.
Huh.
And he was talking about the repetition of his life. And it's along the lines of, I wake up, I fight. I eat, I fuck. I sleep, I fight. I fuck some more. and then he's just like banging some alien-esque type of thing. So, and that's what he wanted. So it's right there, right in the middle.
Sounds
That's
like
awesome.
Invincible or some crazy shit.
That was a good series.
I haven't seen the new seasons. I watched it when it first came out. I was like, all right, this is sick.
Yeah.
And then there was that break. I just hate that Netflix has conditioned us to like just binge watch things.
Yep.
So now I don't have the patience to be like, oh, let me wait
another week.
Right.
Oh, I'm fine with waiting a week because I've been watching like Will Trent, and that comes on like every week. And me and my wife watch like Survivor Weekly and Top Chef.
Yep.
And I'm like, this I can deal with. But it's when you have that gap, and it's like, oh, well, the new season will start.
Right.
And it's anywhere from like you don't have June, July, August, sometimes September. I'm like, we done forgot what was going on here.
And the recap does no justice for it.
No, yeah. It's like, all right, thanks for the 30 seconds of the last episode that just happened. Well, it's like, I figured that out.
Yeah, there's a wicked one on there, Alice in Borderlands.
Oh, that was so good.
Man.
Did you see because that was a comic.
Yep, it was based on a comic
Yes.
series, and then they put it to live action,
Yeah,
and it's just wild.
it is. It's Korean.
Okay.
Yep.
I've
So
heard
it's-
of it, and I heard it was really good, but I never started it.
But that
Yeah,
one
Squid
had
Games has
me-
nothing on that.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
It's sick. Like the big premise is like these people, something happens in their life, and they just appear into this world that looks just like their own, but there's no one else around.
Oh, wow.
But there's games that pop up around the city, and you have to compete in the game to get extended time.
Oh, interesting.
And the more difficult the game is, the more time you get left without having to play a new game. But there's also, in each game, there's a high chance of dying.
So basically, it's like Squid Game on steroids.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you refuse to play a game, then a laser comes out from the sky and just eviscerates
Oh, wow.
you.
Yeah. And then there's a bunch of stuff because no one really knows how to get out. And of course, people join gangs and you make groups or you want to run solo just to try and figure out how to get out.
Sold.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
I'll have to
ride,
watch it
man.
now.
It's pretty cool, though.
The comic was pretty sick. I read that and then found out about the show, and I was like, oh, shit, this is sick.
Yep. I'm really good at getting off topic, too,
Yes.
so sorry
Oh,
about
we're-
that.
Yeah, that's what his job is.
My job is to get us off,
Yeah.
for sure.
I can run with anything.
All right, so to get us back on track, so before the podcast, I believe you were telling us that you are transitioning out of the day job that you have all into this. So now that you're going full bore into mobile bartending, what's the next step for you? Like, what's the next goal that you're trying to accomplish?
So I'll be able to utilize an extra 30 to 40 hours a week to be able to have more successful marketing, getting my face out there, networking with people. My goal is to provide top tier service for everybody, but I have to get in front of people so then they can know who I am.
Right.
And right now I just don't have the time to do that. And some of the platforms that I'm on, it has helped a lot, but I would like to stay more local and be more involved in the community. And like, for example, just this last Friday, I was at Bellevue and there was a wedding, this whole party, they had to switch up everything because they were supposed to have their wedding in Western North Carolina.
Yeah. And then all that.
And everything was just out, and they found this other venue and they deposited something along the lines of like $8,000 for a deposit. The venue owner went bankrupt and was still collecting all of this money and just running with it and leaving people high and dry. So when it comes to community, like, I think I'm the worst business person because I really like being able to help people. And if I'm able to, I will. So they got the venue. Ray Baca gave them half price for the day. I pretty much charged them peanuts, just like covering cost of goods, just so then they can have a good time and not stress about things. Yeah. And being able to do that and seeing the appreciation on their faces and like the sincere thank you hugs and all that, it just, stuff like that just makes you feel good. And so if I can make an impact for people to have a good time locally, that's kind of where my drive is.
That's great marketing too, especially like brand new, kind of getting started and whatnot, because you can also write that off too on your taxes.
Yep.
So that's another benefit to that, I guess. But yeah, I've always been a huge proponent of someone who's like relatively new into their own business, just giving out as much service as possible that's humanly possible, like without like destroying your own business. Just because that's the best marketing you can possibly do. Just kind of showing people, hey, what are you made of?
Yeah, and I don't know. I know that's a great way to think of it, but my brain always reverts back to I was able to do something nice for somebody. Right. And maybe karma in that way can reward later. I don't know. I don't know how that all works, but it's nice just to be able to do that for people. So, and we had a blast. The bride and groom, sweet as can be, and they had a blast. We were able to provide a great service and great time for everybody.
That's awesome.
So,
good for you.
I like that.
That's what it's all about.
But I am leaving the job because honestly, the day job is hindering my business.
Right.
So
I got you.
People have plans, and they definitely want somebody like me. And so if I'm not able to utilize the extra time to be responsive, who's going to want a lazy mobile bartender that can't reply to messages or take a phone call? Yeah. But yeah, I've got quite a bit of bookings already for the year and into next year. Still open. Yeah. Still got some weekends free. So
I will say, having a job is something we all need currently, but if you can realize what your passion is and be able to transition into that, I always applaud anybody who does that.
Yep. And with my day job, I don't have a sense of pride. I'm a very hard worker. I do everything to the best of my ability, but I don't have a sense of pride. And so we talked about it. I have a couple kids, and I want to be proud to tell them what I do. And so when I started the mobile bar last July. Okay. And I was getting set up. I had people from the neighborhood come over so I can test out everything and see the flow. And my daughter at the time was 3. And she was so excited. She was stepping up on her stool, grabbing glasses, putting things in places, screaming her head off, running around like crazy. She was pumped. She stops dead in her tracks and she says, "Daddy, I'm so proud of you."
Oh.
And I was like, "Don't you ever tell me that again. Don't you validate 30 years of my life with just that one sentence." Yeah. And so that alone was just enough for me to keep this going and be committed, be 100% in, and not half-ass anything.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
But yeah, these kids will do it to you, man.
I don't need that in my life.
You don't know it,
Let's say, yeah.
but you might.
That's our running joke.
It's one of those things, like, people, you see it online all the time, where you see one of two things. You see the kids, like, either being sweet as can be, or you see, like, the absolute terrors.
Yep.
And quite honestly, it's in the middle.
It's both. Yeah, it's both.
You get both of those things. Like, it's not just being terrorized all the time by, like, little mini-me's running around. And as much as I'd like it to be all of those very sweet, happy, like, hilarious moments, like, it can't be that either.
No,
Not all the time.
that would just that doesn't exist
Right.
at all.
And I think the funny, like, cute moments are as memorable as they are because they probably were just terrors, like, 30 minutes ago.
Yep.
And you're like, oh, it's just the complete contrast of it.
Man, and it's it's so funny. Literally, kids pick up on everything,
Yes.
and you don't understand, and it might not even be from you, but they heard it somewhere else.
Yeah.
Somebody dropped a package off at the house,
Mm-hmm.
and I go and get it, and my daughter screams. At this point, she's 4. She's like, "Whoa, Dad! What the fuck is that?" I'm like,
Okay.
"Well, it's a fucking package. Let's open this shit right now." But
That's awesome.
and you can't, like, feed into it. You can't be
No.
like, "Don't say that." Then I'm gonna be like, "Oh, I'm gonna say it all the time now."
Yeah.
See, that's how I am with words anyways.
Yeah.
I'm like, unless there's certain words that I don't say because then I'm like, yeah, they're really bad. But I say fuck all the time. And people are like, why? And I'm like, to me, it's just like
Why
an
not?
adjective.
Yeah.
Like, it is the you can add it to anything and it either, like, it enhances it in a right way without you having to think of the proper synonym to make it make sense.
George Carlin has this skit where he goes over the word fuck.
Yeah.
And it is the most incredible breakdown because you can use it as a verb, as a noun, as a preposition.
Right.
You can go anywhere vocabulary with the word fuck.
And people, well, yeah.
Like, one of the examples in there, he says, as a verb, Sherry fucks. Or as something else, he's like, but you can say fuck Sherry. And it's just funny. It's a great listen.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I've listened to that one a few times
Yep.
too. It gets played a lot on different areas. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's hilarious. It's
so
like
true,
it's
though.
so accurate.
Yep.
Love it. All right. So we're coming near the end.
All right.
We've held you for a bit.
I derail everything, so I'm sorry about that.
No,
That's
no.
what the podcast is
I have,
all about.
I have space
Literally
brain, dude.
us.
So
It's us sitting at a bar just randomly talking to
Yep.
people and be like, oh, wait, what were we talking about again? Which gets me because I always look at like, oh.
People always ask, like, oh, what's a podcast about? I'm like, imagine you're sitting at a bar just having conversation with random people next to you. That's what it's about.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
So Tyler kind of pointed at this, but what does success look like for you?
I guess in a sense, financial freedom.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be able to work less hours and spend more time with my kids. That is ideally the most successful part that I can be at.
Yeah.
Is where I can do one event a week instead of trying to book out 2 or 3 events a week. And then I can free up the time and spend more time with my family, be a more active father with my girls and, be present. I grew up not having my dad around a whole bunch. So my dad wasn't around a lot until I was probably 14, 15.
Mm-hmm.
So it sucked.
Yeah.
I remember
He got tired of running the streets.
pretty much, man. He went out for that pack of cigarettes and he was like, you know what? I should probably go home now. It's been at least 14 years. I should see how they're doing.
At least he came back.
You can't say the same, can you?
Good, Tyler.
Look how uncomfortable he is.
This is a great definition of success right there. I don't even know what my question is, and I ask it every single
Oh, it's
time.
perfect. So like this leads
that's
into
right. That's right. If you could tell your younger self one thing, what would it be?
Don't be a pussy.
There you go.
100%. Don't be a pussy. Run with your idea. Don't let society tell you that you have to work this structured job. That's one thing that was instilled in me is you have to find a good company. You have to stick it out because there was company loyalty used to return to you back
Oh, yeah.
in their days.
Right.
And now you have to company hop to get paid what you're worth or do your own thing. But they scare you into all this stuff like, where are you going to get benefits? What about a retirement plan? You're never going to be able to retire if you do this because you don't have this already making fake money in the world. So, yeah, 100% don't be a pussy. I was a pussy way too long. And then my wife basically said, sack up, dude. You got this. She's a great lady.
Love to hear that.
We had her on the podcast.
Yep. Yeah, she had a great time.
So I learned of nutrition. Caitlin is
Dietitian Caitlin.
Yeah, we're having. Yeah, I was like, as soon as I said it, I was like, the nutritionist is on next. That's a different podcast. Dietitian Caitlin. I met her through just like the health stuff before. And then after the podcast, she was like, I told my husband that I was coming on here. And he was like, but I'm the whiskey guy. Yeah. And I was like,
she doesn't even like whiskey. She's one of those basic tequila girls. And
Have you at least gotten her better tequila?
No, I've just put her on whiskey.
Oh, okay.
I've slowly broken her palate down too. Opened up that third eye of hers. And now she appreciates a good whiskey drink.
Good.
So it's good to finally bring you back on now. We ran into each other like random times to different things over the past year. And I was like, all right, it's been way too long.
Yeah, it was funny when I met Tyler. It was at Leland Brewing. And
not surprised.
Right. So I'm the kind of guy that if there's somebody at a bar, I'm going to talk to whoever's next to me, whether it's a hello or maybe a 5-10 minute conversation. And Tyler was no different. And he looks over at this table and he's like, hey man, you want some pizza? And Tyler had bought the whole bar pizza because it was like
the food truck decided
NFL
not
Sunday.
to show up, and it was NFL Sunday,
Okay.
and there needed to be food there.
And I was like, yeah, is this on you? He's like, actually, yeah. I'm like, oh, damn. And then we ended up just talking about nothing for 15 minutes. I don't even remember what we were talking about. But then my wife shows up and he's like, hey, I know you.
Yeah. It was a really weird kind of like serendipitous moment.
Yeah.
It's funny.
That's 90% of Tyler meets people at Leland Brewing or like a random bar. And then people either know me from my day job or they know me from sitting at the Starling. I've tried to get a plaque put in, but they're like, we're not that,
reserve seat.
They're like, we're not that much of a dive bar that we have plaques yet. I'm just waiting.
They need to get there.
No.
You seem to finish your list at rounds and you can get it on the wall.
Well, I finished one. I still got 2 more to go.
They have a whiskey list at rounds.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Then you get your name on the wall.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Problem is, I have to go on my days off or after work to finish multiple
I won't
whiskeys.
tell anyone. I'm just kidding.
You get lunch breaks somewhere in there, I'm sure.
I do. But as a proud member and one who likes to showcase what you should do at work, coming back from lunch,
So a little soft
sauce is not the way to go. Because half the whiskeys on that thing are not like, I don't think any of them are below like 90 proof. So if I'm just like, oh, let's just take a shot of that. Yeah, I'm going to stand up with no food in my belly.
Yeah.
Be like, so
Straight
how
to
is
the
everyone
head.
doing today?
Debatably help you sell.
Yeah. You want a discount? Let's go.
Yeah.
So shout out, where can people find you and support all the stuff you got going on?
The-drinkdaddy.com for the website. Instagram, _drinkdaddy.
Okay.
And Facebook, same thing.
Cool.
You find me on those. I leave all of my personal information on there so you can contact me directly.
Cool. You're going to start posting more?
I need to, man. I'm so bad at posting. I have all these events. Half the time I don't even take photos because before I'm set up, everybody's like crowding the bar.
Right.
Hey, can I get something?
Yeah.
And then I just don't have a time to take a break, take a couple photos. But I did this Ukrainian wedding probably 3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
I just barely posted about it a few days ago, and people loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if it's delayed, posting
Right.
a little bit helps.
It might
Something.
be worth looking into getting like in the photography world, they call it like a second shooter, but like bring someone in just to only get like social media clips and stuff of you.
Yeah, I definitely need to do that. Social media is everything nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to run a platform if you're not using your platform.
Yeah.
So
It's so easy right now for, like, I don't know, at least for whiskey and wisdom anyway. It seems like the algorithms have gotten easier now, and we're getting the most views that we've ever gotten. Yeah. just
awesome.
by being consistent.
consistency is everything.
Mhm.
Yes. Just like with the drink.
Yep.
That's true.
Do you guys enjoy the smoked old fashioned?
It was incredible. Very good.
I forget how much I like old fashions
Because you haven't had a good one.
Well, no, I just try and drink something different every time I go to the bar.
Yeah,
just
you gotta
because,
keep releasing that palate.
yeah.
Right.
But also, if I know that like the bartenders curated a menu and they've tried these things, I'm like, oh, let me try them also.
Yeah.
Once I finish all the curated ones, then I'll go back to the basics.
Yeah.
So that's the goal. Get back to drinking old fashions.
Yeah.
It's only another like 2 weeks of drinks.
Less is more.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. Less is more,
There
man.
you go.
Fancy stuff, sure.
Yeah.
Love it.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it and your time and everything, and especially the smoked old fashioned. That was incredible.
Yeah.
Highly recommend.
I'm happy to be here. I appreciate you guys having me. This was fun.
Thank you. I had a blast. I can't wait to. Hopefully, you'll be at an event soon that I'm at, so then I can be like,
Well, let me know.
Yeah.
You guys were talking about
Yeah.
Reed? Is that the name?
Reed's
of it?
Jewelers.
Reed. Yeah.
We do events every once in a while.
Yeah. So
So yeah,
hit me up.
we'll figure it out.
Thirsty? Daddy's got you. All right.
And on that note, cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.